This video will look at multiplying polynomials, and we're going to build off the idea of multiplying monomials, which we did the other day. So for example, 2x to the third being multiplied by 4x to the seventh. So these are two monomials, and we were multiplying our coefficients. 2 times 4 was 8, and then we were multiplying the variables. And remember, when multiplying variables, you actually add the exponents, so we are going to add 3 and 7 for a power of 10. So that is 8x to the 10th. Now we want to take that idea and expand it to some polynomial work, so multiplying with binomials and even a trinomial. So here we go. Now we're going to start with a monomial being multiplied by a trinomial. So we have a single term out in front, and I want you to think of this really as distributing. If you can distribute, then you can absolutely multiply a monomial by any kind of polynomial here. So I'm going to make a little note. We are just distributing here. Okay, so let's start with that monomial, that 4x squared, and we're going to distribute that to the first term, the 10x. So I'm going to multiply the 4 times 10 for my coefficients. I'm going to start with a 40, and for the x portion, remember we want to add the exponent, so I have a 2 and a 1, or a total of x to the third. Alright, let me grab a different color here. So now the 4x squared is going to be multiplied or distributed to the next term, which is our negative 5x to the third. So for the coefficients, the 4 times negative 5, we're going to get negative 20, and my variable portion, we're going to add the exponent. So I'm looking at the x squared, so a 2 added with a 3, so we're looking at x to the fifth. And let me grab one more color. For the last part, I am going to distribute that 4x squared to the 2. So the 4 and the 2 both count as coefficients. Those are whole numbers. We're going to multiply for 8. And x squared, now the 2 doesn't have an x portion, so we are going to leave that as the x squared. So for that last term, 8x squared. And there you have it. This is our final answer, a nice trinomial here. Basically, that 4x squared got distributed to each part. Since we are distributing to a trinomial, our final answer is also a trinomial. Now I have another example here where we are taking a monomial and distributing it to a binomial. So let's get started. 7a to the fourth, and we're going to start distributing to the first term, 3a to the eighth. So the coefficients out in front here, 7 times 3 is 21. And for the a's, I'm going to make sure I add the exponents. 4 plus 8 is 12. Now we have a second term, so I'm going to grab a second color here to show distributing the 7a to the fourth to my second term of negative 12, a to the sixth. So 7 times negative 12 is negative 84. And I need to add the exponents, and that's a 4 and a 6 for a grand total of a to the 10th. So that binomial answer, 21a to the 12th minus 84a to the 10th. Now we're going to expand our multiplying to two polynomials. So in the previous example, we were using the distributive property. So I want you to think of this as a double distribute. Okay. So instead of just taking one term, a monomial, and distributing it, we're going to take two terms, because if you notice here, we have a binomial in front. So that's the big difference. Okay, if I were to cover up half the binomial and just look at the first term, well then it looks a lot like our previous example. So I'm going to just highlight the 2x and really encourage you to almost not look at that 3 at all. just look at the 2x. We're going to start our multiplying there, and I'm going to distribute that to both parts of the second binomial. So let's start with that 2x times 4x. So that's going to give me the 8x squared. Okay, so that was my first step. And then I'm going to multiply the 2x by 5 for 10x. Okay, so the 2x visited or got multiplied by both parts. We hit the end of the parentheses, so the 2x is done, right? Did its job, did the multiplying. All right, take a break. Now let's talk about that 3. So I crossed the 3 out, but I need to bring that back into play here. Okay, we can't ignore the 3 forever, so now we need to multiply the 3, and we're going to distribute that 3 to both parts, the 4x and the 5. So let's start with the 3 being multiplied by the 4x for 12x, and the 3 being multiplied by the 5 will give me 15. Okay. So here is my double distribute. I had the 2 parts in yellow from the first term, and I've got the 2 parts in red when we distributed the second term. Now this looks like a great answer, but I'm noticing some like terms in there, right? We have a 10x and a 12x in the middle, and I can combine those for a 22x. So my final answer, I'm going to include the 8x squared with my 22x and the 15. Okay, so if you notice some like terms, I want you to add those together, kind of clean it up. So it looks like we have a trinomial for our final answer. So I want to look at one more example here when we're multiplying 2 polynomials. And in this case, we have the quantity 4x plus 17 squared. Now you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't look anything like the last example. And I want to remind you that the squared term means we actually have that quantity, 4x plus 17, being multiplied by itself. And it's being multiplied by itself 2 times. So here's my 4x plus 17, and being multiplied by the second, 4x plus 17. So by rewriting it, now this looks a lot like our previous example, where we can use our double distribute. And I want to caution you that we do not want to distribute that exponent. Okay, and I know a lot of times we see that students want to distribute the squared to each term, and I'm going to caution you, do not do that. Okay, that will not give us the same answer. We'll take a look in a minute when we're multiplying. So try to avoid that, okay, and use your double distribute method that we practiced in the previous example. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I am going to look at the 4x, this first term, and distribute to both parts in the second binomial. So let's start with that 4x being multiplied by 4x. So we are going to get 16x squared. And 4x times 17, we are going to get a 68x there. Now we've hit the end of the parentheses, so we are done. Okay, 4x can take a break, and let's bring in our second piece. That's 17. Okay, so 17 is going to get multiplied by the 4x to give us 68x, and 17 will get multiplied by 17 to give us 289. Woo! All right, so we have 4 terms here, but I am noticing some like terms in the middle, 68x plus 68x, so I am going to combine those like terms for 136x. Now don't forget to include that 16x squared and the 289 over here. Okay, so for our final answer, it looks like we have a trinomial. And let's go back to that idea. If you were to distribute that exponent, that power of 2 to both terms, you would have only gotten 2 terms or a binomial for your answer. So if you can see the difference when we multiplied by writing out the 2 binomials and using our double distribute, notice we got a trinomial for our answer. So that's the main reason why this distributing the exponent does not work for polynomials. So always rewrite it. Remember, if it's a squared, that means we are multiplying it by itself twice, or if it's a cube, you're multiplying by 3 times, and so forth. Okay. Now there is a way to organize, if the double distribute and the 4 terms, it's getting a little bit messy, you can always organize, just show this as a little addition, we'll call this the box method here. You can organize your terms with the 4x plus 17, and over here we've got 4x plus 17. Put that over here. And this just will help you multiply or organize your pieces. So if you want to look at like what would make up this first box here, we would multiply the 4x and 17 for 68x. Or we would multiply, let me bring in another color. You would have your 4x and 4x, which is 16x squared. So we're matching up, again, each box or square 17 times 17 is 289. And do I have one more color here? Yes, that's the green. So we would do 4x and then 17, which is 68x. Just another way to organize your terms. As the numbers or terms get bigger, I know some students like to use the box to organize, and then you can take a look at, where are my like terms that I needed to add together. So just like in the double distribute method, when we had the 68x added with 68x, that's this diagonal here, you can see that that would produce our 136x. You also have the 16x squared, like we had in the double distribute method, and you have your 289. Okay, so just an organizational tip. If you feel like you're having a hard time matching up your terms, I would recommend that box method there. Check it out. Thanks for watching.